We are live at Stuhr Museum at the Cleary farmhouse, part of our educational pavilion. I'm here with Cynova, who is our Director of Historic Interpretation, and we are going to be going through this house. And Kay, you were telling me there is a lot to this house, a lot of which maybe not everyone has seen.
Yeah, this house is really unique. We were lucky to get this. We opened it for our HATS classes in the late 90s. It was built by Julius and Lena Kroll in 1893. And my understanding is the decorative things on the outside, he actually cut all of those himself.
Oh, right there.
But they had lived on that land since 1878. The house itself, the house is named for the Cleary family, and it's in honor of James and Joanna Cleary. Their descendants have supplied a number of funds for the house and our educational programs over the years, so the house is named in their honor. James was a mayor of Grand Island on a couple of occasions, and his son, John, also served as mayor of Grand Island.
Okay, so quite the history of the family. Now, a lot of people might have come out here during Christmas past and present, but this is largely an educational site, correct?
It's used quite a bit for HATS. It is open once a month in the summer for living historians to, so that people have a chance to come into the house. But we use it a lot for our Pioneer Living, our Winter on the Plains class. It's open for Christmas, and again, it's open once a month. The room that you're looking at right now is, we interpret it as a work pantry, but I believe that it was an invalid room. It'd be a place where you could have a bed and keep a baby or somebody who was ill in the family, so that you wouldn't have to run up and down the stairs 300 times a day to tend to that person.
And we're going to get to the stairs here in just a second, and there's a treat when we get over there. But downstairs, there's also quite a bit to look at. I'm looking at that floor. That is unique.
Yeah, the floor was this way when we went to look at the house at its original location. And it was located over by Prosser. It was 3 miles south of Prosser, Nebraska. And so the house had this odd striped floor in the parlor and the dining room. And so when we restored the house, we put that dynamic back on the floor.
Okay, and we have family photos up too that we wanted to mention.
Yes, the Cleary family is pictured right here over by the stove in the parlor. It is their, I'm counting, they had 5 children total, but I'm only seeing 4, so must not have one with all of them in, but that's James and his wife. And then over above the settee is Julius and Lena Kroll.
Okay, that wallpaper is great.
Yeah, it is a reproduction that we found that fit the time period of the early 1890s.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so if you've been in this house before, and chances are pretty good, you might have seen somebody at the piano, you might have heard kids, or in the dining room. I know this gets set up for different holidays and things like that. This is a good size house.
It is a very good size house. This would be a very comfortable house because you've got all of these rooms downstairs where people can be, but you also have quite a number of rooms on the upstairs.
And the upstairs is where we're going to head next, and that is where we're gonna hit a couple things that maybe you haven't seen before. Now we're going to start with the stairs. So can you show us what's special about the stairs?
Well, the Krolls installed a little bit of security. There's this step is not affixed down here. You can lift it up and you can put things like a lockbox or something like that you want to hide from anybody else. You can put in this underneath this step. And so it's a really nice, kind of got found by accident when we were first exploring the house, but it's something that we will point out to people from time to time.
That is neat. And yeah, it's the kind of thing where you came across it by accident, you said?
I believe it was, because it's been a long time since the first tour of this house, but I think it was, someone found it by accident because the step was loose, and so we've just been enjoying it ever since.
That is a really neat really neat little bit. And then of course up here we've got all the bedrooms, and we'll go through these one by one.
Yeah, we've got 4 bedrooms up here, and we have a little sewing or storage room. We're interpreting it as a sewing.
Okay, well let's start there. So this would be what the sewing room looks like.
And this would get a lot of really good morning light. In the east, it's a light color so that you could work on making your own clothes. A lot of people were still doing their own production, although by the time that we're interpreting this house, more and more ready-to-made was being available.
Okay. Now you'd mentioned earlier too, when did this house come on the grounds?
It came on the grounds towards the end of the 90s, and it took a couple years. I'd have to look at my files. It took a couple years to get restored, but the whole idea was to build an educational complex where we could have a lot of our classes.
Okay. So yeah, so there's the sewing room, and this would obviously be a children's room,
Yeah, this
given
would be
all
a
the
boys'
toys.
room. As you can see, the boys are messy. The toys are on the floor. And the beds are kind of unique little kind of couch beds. Real low to the ground, good for a little boy
Yeah.
or little boys.
Yeah, the toys on the ground is a nice touch. I think that's pretty good. In my experience, that makes a lot of sense. All right, and then that was right off what I presume is the master bedroom?
No,
Oh,
this,
no.
this room is where you would put the girls.
Okay.
And just if you think about it, you could put up to 4 girls in this room and maybe have even a baby. It's decorated more towards the feminine side.
Yeah. Now, we had talked about this when we were in Railroad Town earlier, a couple weeks ago, when we talked about why we don't have this part open, and really it has to do with the stairs.
It has a
Yeah.
lot to do with the stairs. The stairs are challenging for a lot of people. And anybody who is comfortable going up and down the stairs is welcome to when the site is open. But specific events, particularly the Christmas evening events, when it's dark and we don't have a lot of light in these areas, we don't generally let people come up these stairs.
That makes sense. So.
It's a safety issue.
Yep, it's a safety issue. But some of these rooms are, you can really get a sense of what you're interpreting right away when you step in.
It's really sad. A couple of these bedrooms are bigger than my bedroom at home. Now this is the master.
This is the master. Okay. Yep, and you can tell because there's some adult-sized clothing there.
Correct.
All right, I noticed the closets right off there. So there are a good number of closets. I didn't see one in the boys' room, but
There's not one in the boys' room, but there is one in the girls' room, and there's one in the other boys' room that we're going to be going into next.
okay, let's go there. But yeah, a lot of them have cribs. I mean, this just strikes me as something that could hold a lot of people.
Yes, it would be very comfortable for a large family. And this would be more towards the teenage level of a boy.
Okay.
We've got a desk so that he could do homework, and we also have some examples of sports equipment and sporting activities with some of the photographs.
Yep. Yep, and there's the desk. Excellent. All right. So we will be going upstairs again next week, right? Next Thursday we're doing another live thing, and you were teasing that we might go up to a place where not a lot of people have ever been.
Hardly anybody has been, but we'll save that for next week.
All right. Well, thank you for coming along with us on this behind the scenes tour. We'll be back in a week and hope you are safe and well.